Okay, in this video we're checking out the Foxeer Predator Nano. This is another one of these nano size cameras with the 14mm mount here. So you can see the size that's similar to the EOS 2, also 14mm, and the Runcam Racer Nano, and also the Runcam Nano 2. So there's a bunch of these coming out now with the 14mm mount for the toothpicks and other similar ultralights. Does make with the smaller case here, does make the camera lighter than the Predator 4, which is what this is based on. If you did see my video from a while back on the Foxeer Predator version 4, as far as I can tell, it's the same firmware, same sensor, same lens, same field of view, pretty much all the same. The only difference that I can tell, as far as I can tell, is the case being the 14mm case. And of course you get a little bit of reduction in the weight. So I will plug this in, I'll show you the menus and everything real quick, but I would suggest going to the Predator 4 video if you want to see a little bit more detail on the menus and everything, the settings. But yeah, let me just go ahead and show you the weight first. So you do get the adapter for the Nano to micro-sized. So basically, unless you are going to be exclusively using the micro-sized 19mm size, I would suggest getting the Nano here. And this gives you more options to go with a smaller frame or mounting setup. If you want a little more versatility, you can just always use the little adapter here to get to the 19mm size. But here's the weight of the camera: 4.84 grams. And then with the adapter, it's 5.8 grams. And then here's the Runcam Racer Nano, and it's 4.2 grams with all the little wires. One thing to note, the Predator, the voltage range is 4 to 25 volts, I believe. And the voltage input on the Runcam Racer Nano here is going to be 5 volts maximum. So it gives you a little more flexibility on the Foxeer for that. In terms of the, I guess, the lens sticking out a little more, so if you look at where the holes are for mounting, this might make a difference for your frame. You can see that the lens on the Foxeer does stick out a couple millimeters more than the Runcam. And I believe the Runcam is about the same as the EOS 2. And in terms of the rest of the features, the 4 millisecond low latency, 1000 TV lines, all that is the same again as the Predator 4, just that it's in the 19mm size and this is in the 14mm size. Okay, let's go ahead and power this up and take a look at the settings here. And this is pretty much the same as Predator 4. Got your OSD here, pilot name, voltage, and power on time. And you can change the presets here by long pressing the right button here. This is on the joystick. And that goes to night. There's night, LED, black and white, and back to day. And to change the, if you want to change the settings in the OSD or turn it off, I think it's the long press as the up button. And here you can change these things like time, power, and turn those on and off. You can adjust the, calibrate the voltage if the voltage is off, and you have your different day presets here. NTSC and PAL switchable, of course, and 16943 switchable. And then we'll go into the regular camera settings. You just press the center button, and this brings up the normal settings on all the Foxeer cameras. You can go here into picture adjust, and then here you can adjust brightness, contrast, sharpness, hue, and color gain. These are all pretty typical. Now in the flight demo and all my cameras, I just run everything completely stock. I didn't change any of these things. And typical for the Predator, again, a little bit too much contrast in my opinion, and a little bit too much sharpness. So for me, I would reduce those, maybe by 10 to 20 each for me, and possibly increase the brightness. It was a little dark in my opinion. But these are obviously going to be totally subjective and whatever you like. So obviously go nuts here. There's a pretty wide range for all of these in the settings, and you can probably find the settings that are good for you, but my recommendation is to reduce contrast and sharpness. I think that'll give you a pretty good picture, but what you're going to see is actually these settings here that's completely stock. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. Here's the flight footage, and if you want to compare it to other cameras, you just have to bring up the FPV Camera playlist, and you can bring up the other footage that I have for the other cameras that you might want to compare this to, and just bring it up in another browser, and then you can just do a side-by-side at that same park. Because I usually fly in the same lighting conditions during the day at the same park, so you can probably find that same location at a certain spot under a tree, for example, in the shadows, and compare this camera to pretty much any other camera in that playlist, which is pretty huge now. I think there's over 50 cameras in there now, so, and you can go back a long ways. Anyway guys, this is going to do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.